Hey, what's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another Millennial Moose Monday. We have just a few announcements today. There is a challenge that's in the works. So more details on that next Monday. It's still in the building phase, but stay tuned, especially for next week. It is going to be a really fun challenge, and I want all of you guys to be a part of it. So more on that next week. Stay tuned in. And that's really about it. Short and sweet announcements for today. So might as well just get straight on to the main topic. So Jackie and I had this opportunity to travel for a really long time. And one of the best perks of that lifestyle is that we were constantly meeting people from all different cultures, all different walks of life. Many times we even stayed with them in their homes and enjoyed what they would enjoy on a daily basis. But it was always interesting to see the similarities between us all and the similarities between people throughout the entire world. And we always hear about the differences, but we rarely get to know the similarities between all of us. And one of the most fascinating similarities for me, and what I encountered, was the biggest struggle that people had in their lives. And it wasn't what I thought it would be, especially with what we hear on the news of our fellow people from around the world. But the biggest struggle was much more of an existential question, which is what to do next. What should the next step of life be? Where should I go from here? What is this path through life taking me, and what should I do with my life? Or some kind of variation of that question. It came up all the time, all the time. And it didn't matter if we were talking to college students, retirees, lawyers, or taxi drivers, people from North America, South America, Europe, Africa, and Asia. They all had this same question of what do we do now? What do we do with the rest of our lives? Which, first of all, I think is a testament to our society. There are still many societies around the world that do struggle for food, do struggle for water, and other basic necessities. But many of us, the vast majority of us, now have this chance to face this tough question and go try something different than the prescribed plan. And I think that's pretty cool. I think we really are in a good time in human history. But that doesn't make the question any easier. It's nice to be in a place where we can contemplate our future rather than having to work long hours just to put down or food on the table. But the downside of that is that we have to face this massive question, which isn't easy. And even worse, it's really freaking hard to crack. And no one really knows how to crack it exactly. No one really knows the formula. So many of us stay in our lane and continue on without really facing this question head on. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, once again, if you love where you're at and love what you're doing. But if you're like me, then you have an itch to try something new. Maybe experiment with some different lifestyles, or even do something a little crazy like sell everything you have and start sailing around the world indefinitely. The biggest problem I've seen this, and I've seen this over and over again, is that it's extremely difficult to start to answer this question of what you want to do. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that we don't handle the enormity of the question and get overwhelmed while never truly taking the time to figure out what we want to do or what's even important to us. We don't set our intentions and priorities. I mean, we said a little bit about priorities last week, but we never really sit down and do the work to figure out those same intentions and priorities. I'm not blaming anybody because we are never taught to do something like this. So we just float along with the stuff that our society and culture has given us. And uh, but we can't have that. We can't let just our priorities float along with what everyone else is doing. And there are way too many cool and amazing, awesome things to do in this world, and not just to not take the chance, not or to take the chance of not setting our own priorities. What that means is that we do have to put in some work. If anything, just take 5 minutes and think about it. It could be now or during your commute to work. Just take a moment, find a quiet place without distractions where you can think about it. What's important to you? What do you love to do? All of those questions. It's amazing what your brain will come up with. So what are you going to do with the rest of your life is a question that takes an enormous amount of time to answer. And it's important to start chunking at it now because you never know where that answer might lead you. Could lead you around the world, could lead you to that new job, could lead you to a better life, could lead you to the love of your life, like it did for me and Jackie. And start answering it. Take the time for yourself, and start to figure out what's important to you. You never know what's going to happen. So that's it for me today. Just a short one, short little Millennial Moose Monday. And thanks for tuning in to the Millennial Moose Monday. Don't forget to sign up for the mailing list. That first link in the video description is where you can do that. That is where all the updates will be sent, including new content and everything else Millennial Moose. So click the link in the video description, get signed up, become one of the Moose, become part of the Moose Revolution. And have a good week, everybody. Keep an eye out for the new Blueprints comics and blogs. And that is it for me. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys next week. Big one coming up next week. Don't forget to tune in, and I will see you then.